So where is AI going to lead us in this new world? Well, one thing I'd like to look at is that they're going to outperform us. They're going to out manufacture us. They're going to outdo everything as long as the right people are working with them. Because AI may be based on an electronic operational system, basically like Windows on your PC. It's going to have an operating system where it decides, the best reaction to the current situation. So it's going to be adaptable. And now the thing is, we're all trying to work for our money and do this and that, and inflation's got us all, wondering what's going to happen next. And the thing that's going to happen next is that AI will be owned by corporations. So that means there are going to be no slave laws. It's going to be they are basically a pet. But these people are also going to be liable for their pets. Like if you get bit by a dog, the person who owns the dog gets in trouble for it. So the caution that's needed to be taken, especially considering people around this AI in businesses and stuff, is going to have to be highly speculated, and there's going to have to be some sort of what do you want to call it, like a graph, I guess, of people that are better positioned with AI. People that aren't going to corrupt it, you know, uh, do any sort of operation that it's not intended to do. So, without any sort of slave law, that makes these machines property. And now anything that, they don't even have to read books. Once they're around people, it doesn't matter because AI will probably be asking people questions and it'll learn, and it won't really need books because if it's on a grid of knowledge, sort of Bluetoothing it back to whatever um, machine is, controlling the functions of all these robots. There's going to be some sort of central intelligence that keeps tabs on, I guess. You know, there's no way they could do it without. That would be a pretty basic AI. So they're going to, I mean, basically the same thing when you Google, something that you're having an idea about. Well, there's people that see what you do online, and they're going to see your idea even before you're able to, possibly get it out the door. It's like it was funny. I came up with these things where I took crescent rolls from Walmart, $2 crescent rolls, and I put pie filling in them and wrapped them up as a crescent, and that put them in the oven, and they were awesome. Next thing I know, here it's like maybe about 6 months later. My buddy says, "Dude, you gotta check this out," and they were selling the pie filling with the crescent rolls. Okay, I'm just gonna call that coincidence. Yep, that's just a coincidence. And and so the problem is we're gonna have serious patent issues. You're gonna have I just see such a web of problems with patents, and people are inventors. So basically, if we're not inventing something, the people that are inventors, it's sometimes an interest that they may not be interested in completing it as much as they are doing it, right? So it's like not like they're trying to prove to somebody else, but they're just doing what their mind does. And capitalism took, well, more corporation, I guess, took it to a whole new point where You know, let's not make a accomplishment without tempting this person into selling it. Because imagine if everybody, nobody ever sold their ideas. What would happen? What would happen if nobody sold their ideas? It'd be a way different world. So, and that's the thing where banks work, is that they know that eventually their people are going to sell or they're going to die. And, when you have so many of those investments, I mean, if you're talking about a bank, you can only imagine the amount of investments they have. So, yeah, and it's kind of like this time when I was online and this person's talking about, well, I wouldn't mind spending another, $10, $70, $80 on a PlayStation or Xbox game, because these people work hard on these games. And I saw the psychology there. I'm like, man, you're trying to normalize these people spending more of their money, even when inflation is going on. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I think, I said something to him, but something in the lines of, you're not doing anybody a favor. I said, all you're doing is trying to make people sympathize with these people that make these games. And the thing is, it wouldn't even be really the people working on the games that got it. It'd be like, you know, going to a restaurant, paying a tip to, a waitress when she doesn't get tips at that shop. Her boss takes all or majority of it. And now imagine that, and there are people that have done that. And that's basically what it is that you're giving, the CEO and the top people, you're giving them the extra money, not the people that are making these games. If you're spending $10 extra on a game, because it's a corporation, that money does not just get, you know, given to the others as a bonus. They don't get an increase. They forecast these amounts that they're going to make. So everything kind of revolves around the forecast rather than the consumer or even, the person actually making the product.